Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Chicken fried steak, gravy, and homemade mashed potatoes are simply stick-to-your-ribs, delicious comfort food. There's no other way to put it. It's all pretty easy to make and doesn't really take that much time to make. But now thanks to Banquet, they've made life so much quicker and easier with their chicken fried beefsteak Megabowl. I got this 14-ounce Megabowl in the frozen food section from my local grocery store for $2.18. Prices usually speak volumes of the quality of the food, and I'm pretty sure there's no exception here. Like I've pointed out in other Banquet meals I've done, their meals have been made in the USA since 1953. The picture on the box, it does look good. This chicken fried beefsteak mega meal is beef patty fritters. Like I've said before, when I see the word patty or fritter, or the combination of a patty fritter in a frozen meal, that just means that the meat is just a whole bunch of stuff formed into a piece of meat. Along with the beef patty fritters is country-style gravy on creamy mashed potatoes topped with corn, green beans, and shredded cheese. Shredded cheese? Someone please tell me that's a typo. Cheese with country fried steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy? That's gotta be wrong. As expected, for a meal that costs $2.18, there's a library of ingredients. If you're wondering what's in here, you may be better off wondering what's not in here, there's so many ingredients. Besides all the other ingredients, there's some of my favorites, like TVP and other added proteins in the patty fritters. See, I told you, patty and fritter just means a bunch of garbage mixed together. And unfortunately, the cheese in the beginning was not a typo. There's actually mozzarella cheese in here, which baffles me. Per bowl, there's 560 calories, 32 grams of total fat, 11 grams of saturated fat, 0.5 grams of trans fat, 55 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,550 milligrams of sodium, which sounds and is a lot for a meal, but wait until the next bowl. Then there's 49 carbohydrates, 6 grams of fiber, 3 grams of sugars, and 19 grams of protein. Let's get the bowl out of the box, take a look, and then get it heated up. It does look like there's quite a bit of food in here, and at first glance, it doesn't look that bad, except for the cheese. Why on earth would anyone even think about the idea of adding cheese to a chicken fried steak? You can heat this up in the microwave or the oven. And to be 100% honest, I must have been on drugs when I did this video, because I did not see the oven directions until just now. But I still don't think I would have waited 50 minutes to cook this in the oven. So into the microwave it goes, for 4 minutes on high, unvented, so leave the plastic intact. After 4 minutes, give it a mix. At this point, before I mixed it, it didn't look too bad. But after mixing, it started looking like a mega bowl of slop. After giving it a good stir, covering it back up, it goes back into the microwave for 2.5 to 3 minutes. After cooking for a total of 6.5 minutes, our chicken fried beefsteak bowl is ready. And now even more so, it looks like a mega bowl of slop. But hey, sometimes not so good looking things still taste good. Don't ask me how I know that, just trust me on it. I gave it all a really good mix. And then I tried a combination of the gravy, mashed potatoes, and cheese all together. Everything is mixed together and you can't get a bite of just one element. So I had to try them all three together. And it definitely wasn't bad, but it's definitely not the country gravy and mashed potatoes I'm used to. Next, I stabbed a patty fritter or whatever they call it. But it looks more like a meatball to me. Obviously, the breading wasn't crunchy, it was soggy as expected. The flavor was okay, but not the meaty flavor or texture I'd really like to have. It was a little spongy, but not really a horrible texture. Chicken fried steak is a piece of meat, not a bunch of crap rolled together and fried. Then I tried a bite of the potatoes, vegetables, gravy, and cheese together. And I definitely like the texture of the corn and the green beans. But the mashed potatoes didn't really have any texture to speak of. I got another fritter, patty, meatball, or whatever you want to call it, and sucked the gravy off of it to show you what the breading looked like. And I know you guys, you wanted to see me suck the gravy off the balls, didn't you? But you couldn't have handled all that sexiness. Without the gravy, it looked even more like a meatball. I'll come back to the chicken fried beefsteak bowl in a few minutes. But let's talk about buffalo chicken and macaroni and cheese next. Buffalo chicken is simply awesome, and so is macaroni and cheese. And I'd normally say it's a somewhat strange, but possibly tasty combination. But if you remember a while back, I tried Velveeta's version of buffalo chicken and macaroni and cheese, and my review was very favorable. So now I have high hopes for Banquet's buffalo-style chicken and mac and cheese Megabowl, which also costs $2.18 in my local grocery store. Banquet's buffalo-style chicken mac and cheese Megabowl is buffalo-style chicken breast and shredded mozzarella cheese on top of macaroni and a spicy cheddar cheese sauce. And just like in the country fried steak bowl, there's a ton of ingredients. But unless my eyes are deceiving me, the chicken breast is actually real chicken. But even though it's real chicken, it looks like it's enhanced and had some stuff added to it, which I can live with. But it doesn't look like it's ground up chicken that's mixed with a bunch of other crap and then formed. So now I'm a little excited to give it a try. Per bowl, there's 460 calories, 16 grams of total fat, 6 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 65 milligrams of cholesterol, 2100 milligrams of sodium. See, I told you to wait for the sodium amount on this one. Woofa! With that amount of sodium in one small meal like this, there should be a disclaimer to drink a gallon of water with it. Then there's 49 carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, 8 grams of sugars, and 31 grams of protein, which is a very good amount of protein. So let's get it out of the box and see what the salt lick looks like, and then get it heated up. Banquet obviously owns stock in mozzarella cheese. Although cheese is obviously more appropriate in this bowl, they could have just stuck with the cheddar cheese sauce, don't you think? But other than that, it looks pretty good. So again, I must have been on drugs because I did not see the oven instructions, so I used the microwave again. So it went into the oven for 4 minutes with the lid on. After 4 minutes, I unwrapped it and gave it a stir. And so far, this actually looked a lot better than the country fried steak Megabowl. And the smell of the hot sauce had me drooling. After I stirred it up, I covered it back up, then put it back in the microwave for 2.5 to 3 minutes. After cooking for a total of 6.5 minutes, our buffalo mac and cheese bowl is ready. And before I even tasted it, I'm happy with the way it looks. And at least on this meal, I'm kicking myself, pun intended, for not cooking this one in the oven. I think it would have been even better with a little bit of brown crispy crust on the top. I gave it a good mix, and although it was a little thin right now, after 2 to 3 minutes, it thickened up nicely. I tried the mac and cheese first, and it was pretty darn good. It had a really good hot sauce flavor without being very spicy. The noodles are cooked great, and the sauce was nice and cheesy, but it was on the salty side, but not to the point you couldn't really enjoy it. Next, I tried a piece of chicken breast. And yes, that's a real piece of chicken. So even if it sucked, I was happy with that. Thank you, Banquet. Now do that with your chicken fried steak dinner, and I'll try it again. When I bit into it, even though it's a real piece of chicken, you can tell it's been enhanced with some sort of solution. The meat itself was mostly tender, but there were some tough spots of gristle or something. But overall, the chicken was good, especially for chicken in a $2 meal. I got another piece of chicken, and again, just like the country fried steak, I sucked the sauce off. I wanted to show you what the actual piece of chicken looked like. And again, as much as I know you guys wanted to see me lick the sauce off the meat, it's just too much sexiness to show on camera. And then finally, I took one last bite of everything, and I liked it all. Now, we all know neither of these meals are health foods, and I, for one, wouldn't eat them often, and I wouldn't recommend you do it either. But hey, we're all adults, we can do what we want to do. So let's go over the results of the country fried steak Megabowl first. Flavor-wise, it was average for a frozen meal. Not great, not horrible, but edible. Texture-wise, people with no teeth can enjoy this meal with ease. In other words, there wasn't much texture with the meat fritter patty balls. The mashed potatoes and gravy became one. You couldn't really tell what was what, and you could literally drink them with a straw. The corn and green beans had the best texture in the whole bowl. And finally, the cheese was really unnecessary and weird in my opinion. Speaking of opinions, my wife tried this one with me, and like I said before, her opinion obviously matters more than mine, whether she's right or wrong. She liked the country fried steak Megabowl. She likes my food too, so that's not really saying much. She gave it a 7 out of 10, which shows you why we're married. Opposites attract, because I gave it a very well-deserved 3 out of 10. Then there was the buffalo chicken mac and cheese Megabowl, which I thought was pretty damn good. Even though the chicken breast didn't taste or feel like premium cuts of chicken, it was real whole pieces of chicken nonetheless. The elbow macaroni was cooked really good. The cheese sauce was creamy, cheesy, and had a really good hot sauce flavor, without being too spicy. My wife tried this one with me as well, and again, our opinions differed. I gave what I thought was a really good score of 8 out of 10. Mrs. Wolfe gave it a 3 out of 10. So you guys are going to have to be the judge. Give these a try and let me know whose opinion you agree with. But please be easy on her. We all know since I do these videos for you, the people, that my opinion is correct. If you'd like to help support the Wolfe Pit, consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month. That's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more. That's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high-quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.